Hi Dylan, good morning. I will try to solve those two questions in this recording. Hope it's going to be helpful for you. I know that maybe I'm exaggerating by solving it. You were just asking a simple question, but as I'm solving it, I will emphasize the difference pertaining to your question. So this is question 1 from quiz 6. Okay, so we know that the exponential functions, we write it in this form. And our job when we try to write down the equation of an exponential function from the graph to the symbolic form to figure out what are those a, b's, and c's. Now, the first important thing is the order. So we start first, figure out what c is. We can't start with figuring out what a, because a is coming the first letter of the alphabet in their sequence. So to be able to figure out c, we look at the asymptote. Okay, here in this case, the asymptote is here. Okay, let me just throw it maybe in red. So that's 2. Right, so the function tries to reach 2, but it doesn't, and it can't. So then c will end up as being 2. Simple, short and sweet. Okay, number 2. Now, at 2, second step, we will try to figure out a. As we are doing it, we need to know what's y-intercept, and we need to use that y-intercept to figure out a. All right, so the y-intercept here in this is this point, and y-intercept x is 0, y is -2. So we're going to use that point. 0, -2 into this equation. Y is equal to y b to the power x plus 2. Now I need to interject that c value there because I found it. Okay, so x will be 0, y will be -2. So let's plug in. Y is -2, a, b, 0, plus 2. I'm just placing into these blue equations whatever I know. Now, side note here. B to the power 0 will be 1. B to the power b will be b. So this is an important aspect of exponential functions. Anything to the power 0 will be 1. Anything to the power b will be itself. So we need to remember this. All right, keep going. So with that knowledge of that blue squarey thing, so b to the power 0 will be 1, then we will have this equation, -2 is equal to a plus 2, solve for a, right? Then a will become -4. Good, we've done this, Now we're going to use a and c and something else to figure out b. So step 3. Well, at step 3, we need to use any ordinary point, but not y-intercept, because we use y-intercept, and if we use y-intercept, we're going to plug in 0 for x, and anything to the power 0 is going to become 1, and we will lose the variable b. However, we want to figure out what b is, so we can't use y-intercept. So that's why this is important. Okay, so that point is given to us, actually. That's here, 1, -6. So by using 1, -6, we will try to figure out what b is. So y will be -6. I know what a is, -4. b, parentheses to the power 1 and plus 2. I guess your question was, why am I putting in the parentheses? Because if you're solving this equation, and if you don't put b in parentheses, if you write it that way, it might seem like here that you're just multiplying the b with -4. However, it's not like that. You're taking the power b to 1 and then multiplying -4. So this is the job of the parentheses there. and it should be, the exponent should be always outside of the parentheses. I'm not sure why WebAssign on the second question is putting it inside and this one outside. So we're gonna solve for b here. Okay, so the equation becomes negative 4b plus 2. Okay, so subtract 2 from both sides, so negative 8 is equal to negative 4b divided by negative 4. Then b will be equal to negative 8 over 4 is 2. All right, so what's the equation? We're not done. We need to get all these things together. The last point. So it will be y equals a b to the power x and plus 2. Ta-da! Okay, I would always write the exponent outside of the parentheses, not inside. So that's what we would expect. Okay, so I'm gonna solve the other question. Quiz 6, question 2. Same thing, but I'm gonna go a little bit faster here. Okay, since we explained in detail what we're doing, each and every step. So start with C. So C, it seems like negative 9. Okay, figure out the y-intercept, which is here, that is 0, negative 7. Plug it into the equation, so negative 7 a times b to the power 0, negative 9. Okay, so b to the power 0 is 1. So then I will have negative 7 is equal to a minus 9. So add 9 both sides. So then a will become 2. Okay, I'll figure out this. I'll figure out this. Now let's figure out b by using any points. Okay, the thing here is they're not giving that any point. We need to figure that out. And we should be able to read that point clearly. Let me see. Okay, so we can use this one maybe, right? That's 9, 8, 7, 8. So this is 8. So I can call this point 1, negative 8. All right, so let's use that point. And negative 8 will be equal to y, a will be equal to 2, b to the power 1, c will be equal to negative 9, right? So then it's actually negative 8, 2b minus 9, add 9 both sides, so then we're going to end up 1 is equal to 2b, and then b is equal to 1/2. So how would I write this equation? Ideally, that's how I would write it. 2 times b to the power 2 x minus 9. I would always put my exponent outside of the parentheses. That will be my solution. Hope it helps. Let me know. We talk again. Have a great Sunday.